Okay guys, so the new and final Spider-Man No Way Home trailer just dropped, and I have to say that it looks fantastic. We do get to see every villain that's pretty much advertised, with a few exceptions, and we only see Tom Holland's Spider-Man, Peter Parker, in there. And from what I can get out of this is that what's going on is, yes, it is Peter's fault. It is both, well, it's both Peter and Doctor Strange's fault, because Peter, it's his fault because, as we saw in the first trailer, he kept asking questions, about this, what about that, distracting Doctor Strange, and Doctor Strange allowed that distraction to cause him to screw up the spell. And basically now it's up to both of them, along with, Mary Jane and Nate and a few others, Aunt May, to fix this, to pretty much fix this. And it kind of gives you an idea of who will be involved in some capacity. Like, I think they showed Jonah Jameson, in a trench coat and a hat. He's looking up on the ground. They have that one guy, I can't think of his name, who was like an assistant to Tony Stark. He's in there. They did show, like I say, the villains that were pretty much rumored, like Jamie Foxx's Electro's in there, William Dafoe's Goblin's in there, Andrew Molina's character of Doc Ock is in there. We have the Lizard, we have the Sandman. Now, what's interesting about the Sandman is the last time we saw Sandman, depending on how you look at it, we saw him. As far as Spider-Man movies go, we saw him in the third Spider-Man movie teaming up with Venom. So there's a connection there. There's a possible connection there. Now, I'm not saying that's totally true. I'm not saying that's a fact. But, the fact that we're getting the Lizard from The Amazing Spider-Man, the fact that we're getting, Electro from Amazing Spider-Man 2, it's really intriguing. It's really interesting. Now, like I said, the Sandman I know of from the Spider-Man films is, the last I know of him was from the third Spider-Man film with Tobey Maguire. So, looking at that and realizing, okay, that Sandman was aligned with Venom. He was aligned with Venom, in a sense, before Venom was killed off. It makes you wonder if we're going to probably see Venom in this film, whether it's the Tom Hardy Venom, or we're going to see the other Venom we saw from the third Spider-Man film, or we're going to see two Venoms. That's going to be intriguing if Venom shows up. And it looks like, based off what we saw at the end of Let There Be Carnage, that, especially the post-credits ending, that's probably what we're going to get. We're probably going to get one, maybe two Venoms at least. And the fact that Doctor Strange says at the end that, when Peter's asking him what's going on, and he's saying, they're coming through, things are opening wider, they're coming through, he can't hold them back. It really opens up the possibility that we will see other Spider-Man related characters show up, maybe brief cameos or whatever, in this film. Remember, they want to use not just the Venom movies, but they want to use the Spider-Man, Tom Holland, Marvel Studios movies to basically, really kick off their own MCU Spider-Verse, where, we get where characters like, Black Cat and Silver Sable get their movie. Morbius is going to get his movie. What is it? Kraven the Hunter, gets his movie. And then you got Silk getting her series and all that. So to me, what I'm getting out of this is, as we get towards the ending of this film, it's going to correlate with what happened at the end of Let There Be Carnage. Yes, it's going to lead into Multiverse of Madness, the Doctor Strange film, but it's also basically going to, help, finish out that foundation, that building block, that final piece of the puzzle, so Sony can launch their own MCU Spider-Verse, with their own directive and get as dark and as crazy as they want to get. So that's kind of what I got out of, not just from this trailer, But when you really connect it all together and what Sony wants to do and everything in the future, it really makes a lot of sense that, you know, that's what we're going to get out of this. That this is what's going to lead into that. I mean, I like the fact that Peter, the Tom Holland Peter, is conflicted at the fact that, you know, he finds out that all the villains he's facing from all these alternate universes, you know, they end up dying in some shape or form, you know, because they faced off with Spider-Man in some capacity. Now, when Doctor Strange basically reveals that, and, you know, Doc Ock kind of, you know, reveals, I think, around the same scene, I guess that's what it takes place in, that, you know, hey, you're fighting Ghost and everything, and then Doctor Strange kind of, you know, basically commentates further on that, saying that these characters, these villains you're going to face, you know, they basically all share the same fate of they're going to die at the hands of Peter Parker, at the hands of facing Spider-Man. You know, Peter's very reluctant. It's like, you know, he doesn't like that idea. He tries to take the box, I guess, that, you know, I guess can control the realities or something away from Doctor Strange. He takes it back. And that's the scene where we get where he's pushing, you know, Peter right out of Spider-Man's body. It's like, you know, to me, this is going to be, like I said, the jumping off point for Sony's MCU Spider-Verse. Or Sony's Spider-Verse, period. Because basically all the villains we're getting here, you know, are from the Sony verse of Spider-Man, various Spider-Man films, I should say. As well as the fact that, you know, again, this is pretty much being rumored as the last hurrah with this collaboration between Disney and Sony, Marvel Studios and Sony before, you know, before they go off in their own directions. So, you know, it's going to be really, I'll say this, from beginning to end, it's going to be a real roller coaster of a ride with this movie, I can tell you that. And like I said, I think the ending of this film, the film itself entirely, but the ending of it is going to put in that final piece of the puzzle, that final piece of the foundation that basically, you know, that basically leads us into the Sony Marvel Spider-Verse, if you will, because of all the things we're getting from them and what, you know, and what's happening here. It looks really, to me, this trailer looks really good and pretty much, you know, basically giving us an idea of what we're going to be in store for, not just with it, you know, what's at stake, how big the stakes are, but basically what we're going to be led into, you know, as far as, you know, Sony's side of things go, and then of course the Marvel Studio side of things go, you know, as well. But I like what I saw. I cannot wait to see it. You know, I'm not showing any footage here because I don't want to get copyrighted or anything, so I'm not going to risk doing that. I'll provide a link down below as well as at the end of the video so you guys can check it out for yourselves. But I do like what we got here. As far as like when Venom shows up, Tom Hardy's Venom and then that other guy's Venom, because I got a feeling we're going to get two. I'm going to say it's going to be right in that climactic area of, you know, getting ready to face off against Electro, Sandman, Lizard, you know, all of them. I got a feeling that's when we're going to get it. As well as, you know, as far as, you know, answering the question that, you know, Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire are trying to deny, you know, I think we're going to get the answer here, and I think, yes, we are going to see them. And, you know, John Campea said it best when they answered a question about this, you know, because Andrew Garfield was on the Today Show recently, and he basically said, in a very serious tone and seriously honest tone, he's not part of it. But as, you know, as John Campea put it so bluntly, you know, Andrew Garfield is a very well accomplished Academy Award nominee actor that can make things sound believable, can make you believe what he's saying. You know, just like he does on the screen, he can make you feel the same way even off the screen, even, you know, in interviews and all that. So I'm not going to put it past the fact that what Garfield is doing and what Maguire is doing, you know, all they're doing basically is trying to divert our attention. And when you think about how the trailer, you know, the first trailer and then now this trailer are being presented, they're being done in a way to where you don't see everything. You don't see all the villains. You see pretty much a good core of them. Like, Ock, Goblin, Sandman, Electro, Lizard. You don't see Venom, either version of Venom. You don't see one of them. So, as well as you don't see any other characters that might be involved. So to me, what they're doing, in my opinion, when you look at how the trailer presents itself, and then you listen to what McGuire and Garfield say, what it sounds to me is they're trying to hide, specifically, they're going that old school route of trying to hide their appearances in the film, so that even though we, as viewers, pretty much can guess that, yeah, you guys are in it and everything, to them, the more they deny it, the more they believe they're going to get people to believe what they're saying, so that when the movie does come out and they show up, they can basically, in their opinion, go like, aha, see, we got you, you thought we weren't going to be in it, but we are, la 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 la. And all of us can come out basically on social media and go like, yeah, who do you think you were fooling? Yeah, you can make that excuse all you want. We knew you were in the film. We just didn't know when you were going to show up. So to me, I think this trailer is doing a brilliant job of hiding the fact that we might see them, or definitely will see them, I should say. I like the fact that it's doing a good job in hiding that fact. And I like the fact that it's also hiding other aspects, like what other villains and characters will show up. So I think this trailer did a good job in showing us what we're in store for, how high the stakes are and everything like it said. Showing us, who we are going to see, but not as much, and just building upon what's going to be, leading us into basically the Sony Spider-Verse, basically this being the final piece of the puzzle, for them to complete, and, go in that direction. And I like the fact that it's also leading us into a direction, that's going to be built upon, in the Multiverse of Madness, the Doctor Strange 2 movie. But now the question is, Doctor Strange is supposed to be very powerful. Why can't he, hold back what's happening? And I think that's going to have to do with what we saw at the end of WandaVision. Think about it. Wanda was doing this. She's hearing her kids, and she's looked at as an Omega level person or threat, whatever. So to me, I think Wanda has something to do with the fact that Strange can't close them because she's trying to keep them open to look for her kids. That's my opinion, though. But overall, I think the trailer looks great. I highly recommend checking it out. Again, I'll link it at the end of the video here. And that's all I'm going to say, guys. So until next time, check out the trailer. Comment down below what your thoughts are on it. What are you looking forward to? Chat in the live chat during the premiere. Like the video. Check out the Teespring store. Check me out at BW Roses, I should say. Discussions on all your favorite audio podcast locations except for Pandora. Also, check me out at BW Roses on VENMO. Check me out at VENMO if you want to donate there. And Patreon at BW Roses. So until next time, guys, I'm out.